thoughts on going into Austin?
Yeah, I mean, it's great to get a home win this weekend. Again, trying to continue to build some momentum while looking at some things that we want to keep improving. Austin's a team that they've picked up some results. They're definitely playing better than they were earlier in the season. They've certainly figured out a few things with their group. Getting Driussi back is huge for them. He was missing some of the early games, so he's obviously a huge part of their team. So yeah, it's a tough place to play, and in their possessions, if they get in a rhythm, they'll really spread you out, and we've got to be careful to not get ourselves stretched out. So it's going to be a tough battle, and so all these games on the road are difficult, and we've got to keep trying to take steps forward and learning from each of these games and things that we can carry on to the next game that we can be a little bit better. So, but I'm happy with where we're at for sure, and the process continues.
Your thoughts on the game against San Jose? A couple of days past it now. Of course, 4 goals are great to score 4 goals, but on the defending side, what didn't you like, and how do you guys improve on that as you go into this weekend?
Yeah, well, I mean, we go 3-0. I think the first goal comes from we start to sort of press a little bit and we get separated because we don't really we don't stay connected and prevent them from playing through our lines. That leads to a free kick, and now we're probably a little unfortunate in that it hits off the wall and finds their guy right on his head from 6-7 yards out, so it's a little bit unfortunate, and sometimes that stuff happens. But at 3-0 with an opportunity to hopefully get a hold of the game and maybe see it out to halftime and take it 3-0 in the halftime, they score a goal right away, which continues to give them some belief that they can get themselves back into it. So I think game management is an important piece of that. Again, I think inside of the game management is choosing our moments when we can possess and we can force the opposition to really have to defend in numbers in their half of the field. And maybe try to burn their spirit just a little bit, or force them to have to really work to get the ball back, so that they don't really see a great way back in the game. And I feel like sometimes we rush attacks, or we go for that thing that maybe can get us the 4th or 5th goal, which will show up if we're a little more patient at times. But I think sometimes we get ourselves a little separated because we're rushing in one direction. We're not really closing up the space behind us. And then the game starts to open up when it doesn't really need to open up when we're up, 2-3 goals. We need to make sure the game stays very controlled because we have everything to gain from that type of scenario. So those are the things that I think we've got to learn from. I can't think of too many games this year where we've had multi-goal leads that where we can think a little bit more of protect ourselves in possession, and then utilize some of the transitions and key moments, but just making sure that we keep ourselves connected inside of the game. The second goal, trying to remember what the second one was. That was the penalty?
No, that
was the third one?
Yeah.
The second was the corner?
That was the quick free kick taken on the sideline, the one that headed in.
Yeah, I mean, that one comes down a bit to, again, our marking in the box, I think. Being able to prevent the cross and being able to mark at the back post between Eddie, who I thought had him initially, then kind of loses him. Eddie's not a right back, but still marking in the box. When we got a guy, we just got to lock him up, and in that scenario, he gets away from us. They hit a great cross, but we still got to be in position to deal with it. So now they go, they get themselves back into it. We get the lead, and then the penalty where we kind of fall asleep a little bit, ball gets whipped in behind us, and now a non-situation becomes a situation that then puts us into 20 minutes of scrambling a little bit to win the game. And it's just, again, I think I'm going to keep saying this, like, it's a maturity that we need to continue to develop, that is seeing games out. It is managing the game and managing leads and managing certain situations a little bit cleaner. Set pieces being one of those. I thought, by and large, we were a little unfortunate in the first one. Again, a deflection that finds the guy's head we can still defend it, but a little bit unfortunate. But inside of that, we just got to keep growing as a team. Like, we're not there yet, and but we're doing a lot of things really well. Our attack looks really good. The speed at which we can attack and punish teams is just really different. How dynamic we're able to be at times is really interesting. So I just think it's connecting some of these dots to keep pushing towards what can be our top level. By top level doesn't just mean scoring 6 or 7 goals. It means closing games out clean. It means managing leads appropriately. It means a lot of little things inside of the game.
Late in that game, you guys were, I think it was 4-2. Maybe it was at the time it was 4-3. There could have been a moment where you guys could have played possession, sort of kill time, but there were a couple breaks you guys had, attacks.
Yeah.
What's your thought there? You go for the 5th goal to really kill the game off, or is it like possession can really kill it off? Or
I think it depends on what the scenario looks like. You know, I think a couple of those scenarios looked really good for us to go ahead and go for it and counter balls that we are slipping. We're getting behind the back line and we're squaring balls across the face of the goal, and maybe we're just a touch away from putting in the back of the net. Those ones I think we should go. It's the ones where the opposition has numbers behind the ball, they're reasonably organized, and we don't have necessarily a great advantage in the situation, where I feel like we don't necessarily need to rush into those situations. And so I think it's not for us to not go when the opportunity presents itself. It's to recognize when that opportunity looks like it's in our favor versus maybe we're trying to force it to be in our favor, and just managing those and understanding you know, the score, the time, all those kinds of things inside of it. Because there's one I think at the end that maybe Diego could go to goal.
Yeah.
He chooses to spin out and go, and we're in the dying minute or seconds of the game, and he makes a great decision. That's just a business decision to win the game, you know. So I think every scenario is a little different. I think just the maturity that we need to grow into is recognizing when the opportunity is really there and it's pretty clear, and when maybe we're just forcing a situation that maybe isn't so clear.
The status of Jalen this week?
Jalen's good. He got 45 in this past weekend and no issues. Felt great. So for us, he's ready to start integrating into our matches and our environment.
And then Martin, did everything check out?
Yeah, nothing remarkable, and we had an MRI just looking. It's just the same issue he had a couple weeks ago, where there's nothing specific, but he's having some residual, I don't know, pain, fatigue, stuff like that, and kind of the hamstring area, but no significant issue. So now we're just going to look and see if there's anything nerve related or something maybe slightly unique that is referring pain or referring fatigue into the area that isn't specifically an acute injury per se. So he was out doing some work today. He did a lot of work today, so we're just going to manage day to day. Today he'll see some people who hopefully can give him a cue to give some answers to get some relief off of that area.
And then
Mickey's good. He's back in trained full today, so he's available barring anything through the course of the week.
Thanks for your time, Greg.
All right.